Did you know that out of every 100 job applicants, only 20 will get an interview and just one will get the job? That's right, folks. The job market can be a daunting place, with competition steeper than ever. This single statistic paints a vivid picture of just how challenging it is to land that dream job. Yet it's not all doom and gloom. The key takeaway from this statistic is the importance of standing out from the crowd, which we will discuss right now. It's not just about having an impressive resume, it's about making an impression that lasts. It's about being that 1 in 20 who not only gets the interview but nails it and ultimately lands the job. Remember, every interview is a two-way street. It's not just the employer assessing you, but also you assessing the employer. So how do you make sure you're the 1 out of 100? Now that we've set the stage, let's dive into some expert advice to increase your chances in this competitive field. According to industry experts, the first step to acing your job interview is thorough research about the company. Yes, you heard it right, folks. Research. It's not just about showing up and hoping for the best. It's about understanding the organization's mission, values, and culture. Why, you ask? Well, it's simple. The more you know about the company, the better you can tailor your responses during the interview. You can highlight your skills and experiences that align with the company's goals and values. And trust me, interviewers appreciate candidates who show that they've done their homework. But where do you start? A great place is the company's website. Look for their About Us section. This should give you a good idea of their mission statement and core values. Some companies even have a culture page where they talk about their work environment and what they expect from their employees. Don't stop there, though. Check out the company's social media platforms. These can provide valuable insights into the company's culture, current projects, and recent accomplishments. You might find posts about community involvement, employee recognition, or behind-the-scenes peaks, all of which can give you a sense of what it's like to work there. Another goldmine for information is recent news articles about the company. These can help you understand the company's position in the industry, their challenges, and where they're headed. It can also give you an idea of their competition, which is always good to know. Remember, knowledge is power. The more you know about the company, the more confident you'll feel during the interview. You can ask informed questions and engage in meaningful discussions. You're not just another applicant anymore. You're someone who shows initiative, interest, and the potential to be a great fit for their team. So take the time to do your research. It can make a world of difference. Armed with knowledge about the company, you're already a step ahead of many applicants. Hiring managers unanimously agree. Practice makes perfect. As we delve into the third scene of our journey, we turn our attention towards a universally acknowledged truth that practice is the key to perfection. When it comes to job interviews, this golden rule holds its ground with unerring certainty. Think of preparing for an interview like training for a marathon. You would never dream of running 26 miles without some serious groundwork, would you? Similarly, you can't expect to ace an interview without laying down the foundations through practice. Now, you might wonder, how does one practice for an interview? Well, one effective method is to rehearse common interview questions. Questions like, tell me about yourself, what are your strengths and weaknesses, or why should we hire you? These are the bread and butter of almost every interview. By preparing thoughtful answers in advance, you're priming yourself to respond with confidence and ease when the actual interview rolls around. Another way to practice is by rehearsing in front of a mirror. Sounds a bit odd, right? But trust me, it's a technique that's as old as time and it works. Seeing yourself while you speak allows you to observe your body language and facial expressions, giving you a chance to adjust and perfect them. Alternatively, you could opt for a mock interview with a friend or a mentor. This not only simulates the interview environment, but also provides you with valuable feedback. It's like a dress rehearsal before the main performance, enabling you to iron out any creases in your presentation. However, let's be clear about one thing. The goal here isn't to memorize your responses word for word. Interviews aren't about regurgitating rehearsed lines. They're about authentic conversations. So while practice is crucial, it's equally important to stay flexible and adapt your responses to the flow of the conversation. Remember, the goal isn't to memorize your responses, but to feel comfortable and confident discussing your skills and experiences. As the saying goes, dress for the job you want, not the job you have. Let's take a moment to unpack this. Dressing for success is more than just a cliché. It's about portraying a professional image that aligns with the company's culture. Even though casual dress codes are more common these days, it's still crucial to present yourself professionally for an interview. Why, you ask? Well, your attire is a reflection of your seriousness about the position. It shows respect for the company, and it demonstrates your understanding of the business world. Now, how do you know what's appropriate to wear? It's simple. Do a little research on the company culture. Check out their website, social media, or even reach out to someone who works there. Remember, you don't have to break the bank to dress professionally. The key is to look neat, presentable, and respectful. When you look good, you feel good, and that confidence will shine through in your interview. Our final piece of expert advice: always follow up after the interview. Why, you ask? Well, the interview might be over, but your work isn't. It's time to put that cherry on top of your well-crafted presentation with a thoughtful follow-up. You see, this is more than just a polite gesture. It's an opportunity to reaffirm your interest in the job and leave a lasting impression. Imagine you're the interviewer, meeting multiple candidates every day. It's a whirlwind of faces and resumes. But then you receive a personalized thank you note from one of those candidates. It's a breath of fresh air, a reminder of the thoughtful individual who stood out from the crowd. That's the power of a follow-up. Now let's talk about crafting this magical message. First off, it's important to send your follow-up within 24 hours of the interview. This shows your enthusiasm and keeps you fresh in the interviewer's mind. So, what do you say? A simple thank you is a great start, but it's also a chance to highlight your attention to detail. Reflect on your conversation during the interview and mention something specific. Maybe it was an insightful question the interviewer asked, or perhaps a shared interest you discovered. Whatever it is, this personalized touch shows that you were engaged and attentive, reinforcing your suitability for the role. You can also use this opportunity to clarify any points from the interview or add any information you feel might strengthen your candidacy. But remember, brevity is key. This isn't the time to write an essay, just a concise, thoughtful message that leaves a positive impression. And finally, while email is usually the most convenient way to send your follow-up, don't rule out a handwritten note. It may seem old-fashioned, but in the right circumstances, it can add a touch of class and personalization that sets you apart from the crowd. A timely follow-up not only shows your gratitude, but also reaffirms your interest in the position. So make it count. It could be the difference between landing the job or just being another face in the crowd. There you have it, expert advice to help you stand out in your next job interview. Let's take a moment to recap and reinforce the key points we've discussed. Firstly, arm yourself with knowledge about the company you're applying to. Research their mission, values, and recent activities. You'll be able to answer questions about why you're a good fit and how you can contribute to their objectives. Secondly, remember the adage, practice makes perfect. Anticipate common interview questions and rehearse your responses. This doesn't mean memorizing a script, but rather becoming comfortable with your key talking points. Thirdly, dress for success. Your appearance can speak volumes before you even utter a word. Dress professionally and appropriately for the company culture. And remember, it's always better to be overdressed than underdressed. Next, don't underestimate the power of a well-timed follow-up. Send a thank you note expressing your continued interest in the role. This not only demonstrates your good manners, but also keeps you fresh in the minds of the interviewers. Now it's time to put these tips into practice. Preparation is more just a one-off task. It's an ongoing process that begins long before the interview and continues up until you walk through the door. Each interview is a learning experience, a chance to refine your approach and improve your performance. So keep these tips in mind as you navigate your job search. Practice them, refine them, and then make them work for you. After all, you're not just trying to land a job, you're aiming to launch a successful career. Remember, the key to a successful interview is not just about showing off your qualifications and skills. It's about showing who you are, what you stand for, and how you can make a difference. Wishing you all the best of luck in your job search. Remember, preparation is the key to success in job interviews. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more job search advice.